Hello, everyone. So the people voted on a Bollinger Band trading bot with interactive brokers with IB and Sync. So let's get started. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and this will run real trades. So you got to be very careful and assume everything I do is wrong. Okay, and of course, this is like a follow up to my larger video, the Ultimate Interactive Brokers API Tutorial Part 1. This is sort of like a gateway into like the full blown video we're going to talk about like trading systems and that sort of thing. This will be sort of like a little gateway. And I know I wrote, I'll talk about RSI and dojis, but I won't because I don't have time. But we'll do the Bollinger Band, and I think that'll give you guys a good start, especially for beginners. So let's get started. Of course, if you're new, please like and subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like and share. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much, and let's get the show on the road. Okay, so first let's connect to IB. From IB async, import star, IB equals IB, util.startLoop. Util.startLoop is needed for running IB insync in Jupyter Notebook, and let's connect. So I do IB.connect, port equals 4003. Client ID, let's do 1. Okay, so I'm connected now. Okay, so if you recall in this big video, I talked about like market data and subscribing to bars. So I said you can get historical bars, and you can use the parameter keep up to date equals true to keep the bars updated constantly. So what this means is not only every time you get a new bar, it updates the historical bars, but also even if you get an update within a bar. So let's say you do 5-minute bars, right? And it's 9:30. So the bar from 9:25 to 9:30 finished, but every 5 seconds you're still going to get updates on the 9:30 to 9:35 bar. It's going to give you the most recent thing. Okay, so remember that keep up to date equals true. But I gave you guys one caveat is that if your internet disconnects, the updates don't update anymore. And I told you that there was another approach which was using live bars. It's called real-time bars, and that's robust to internet failures. But it'll be too long in this video to use that approach, so we'll do the simple approach of just using keep up to date equals true. I did reference at the end this video I have on updating historical bars with real-time updates with interactive brokers, where you can get more information on the robust way of doing it, where even if your internet screws up, you'll still get updated data every 5 seconds. Okay, so yeah, so there's two tiny things I wanted to show you guys is like if you for some reason want a full bar, like let's say you want like a doji candle or something, and you don't want to just use like what's up to now, there's a has new bar equals true in the callback I'll talk about in a second. And what happens is you get the new bar, and it's going to be a new bar with the new it's going to have volume equals -1 or 0 and bar count equals -1 or 0. I'll make that crystal. Wow, sorry, there's no AC in this room. I'll make that crystal clear in a second because it's very important, and it could be an easy bug if you guys are using has new bar equals true. If you're not using that, doesn't matter. Okay. So, but yeah, sometimes you do want it because some things you need like volume, or you need like something that it doesn't make sense just to use the latest point. So I'll show you in a second. So, okay, let's actually spell this one by one. So remember, we need a contract. So contract, I can do stock, symbol. I always use Tesla, exchange equals smart, currency equals USD. I don't need to do this IB.qualify contracts, but just to remind you, what it does is it basically it fills the contracts with like all the details, like contract ID and all this other stuff. Like look at all the extra details it filled in. Okay, so now to get the bars, we do bars equals IB.rec historical data. Let's do 30-second bars for now. So we'll do contract equals contract. We'll do end date time equals this. Duration string, let's do 2 days here. Let's do bar size setting. This is the bar size. Let's do 30-second bars because I want to show you guys what I meant above with those comments. sorry, it's a little hard to speak because I don't have AC and it's like really hot. What to show is trades. Again, you can show bid, ask, midpoint, something called implied volatility, but I don't know what that is because it's like their own measure. Anyways, use regular trading hours. I mean, we're in regular trading hours, so I'll just use that as true. And plus, like sometimes you want your indicators to be only based on regular trading hours, so that can be important. The key is keep up to date is true. That will constantly update the bars, and you need end date time equals this thing, which is until the current time for that. So I do this thing, and then I get the bars. So just to remind you guys, so bars is like a list of this bar data, right? And it has like date, open, high, low, close, volume. So you can do length of bars, and it keeps updating, right? So this is 1149, but then like every time it'll eventually be 1150 because we have the keep up to date is true. Awkwardly, let's wait for this. Uh, uh, Eventually, it'll get to 1150. 1150. Okay. Okay. So you see it updates. Anyways, you can see it as a data frame. Remember, like this. You do util.df bars. You can see it as a data frame. And if you click now, you see like the latest bars from 12:34 30 Eastern to 12:35 Eastern, and it's not 12:35 yet, so the bar's still in progress. But if you keep clicking, you'll see that it keeps updating this last thing. Its volume's at 19. So, oh, see, now you get a new bar. Like I said, right when you get a new bar, it has -1 on the first update. And then eventually it keeps updating that and that sort of thing. So I'll show you this in the context of a callback. So you can, you can do these callbacks, and this is like how I trade on Interactive Brokers. Is basically a callback means every time like there's a new event, a new bar update, a new trade, a new execution, a new whatever, then you're going to do something like make a trade or something. So let me illustrate this callback. So first of all, let me because I want to display a few things just to show you guys. So I want to display so like when you display if you want to display nicely, you can a data frame. You do from ipython.display import display, and then I want to print the date time of every update. Just another small thing, and I said I'll do shorts on data frame and on pandas. I'm never doing a video again in this room. It's just hard to breathe. Okay, so you could do a sign, and it adds a column. So I can do like add new column equals whatever you want. Okay, so this show you this just adds a column with whatever you want. In case you guys didn't know this handy trick. Okay, so the key now is for the callback. The callbacks look like this. It's def on bar update, and I have a lot of videos on callbacks like this. So I didn't reference it here, but like check my videos. I do have a ton of examples, and that's probably the best place to check. So right now, I just want to show you guys is like every time there's an update, I want to do two things. I want to just basically show you the last two most recent bars and how they look to give you guys some intuition. So I can do display. Display is just a nice way to print the data frame. Util.df bars dot iloc -2. I can just do tail 2. That might be more elegant. And then I'll do dot assign. That's the thing I showed you here. And then I'm just gonna do something like I'm gonna just say like if there was a new bar or not. The top thing is they're gonna have the same value, so it's only the latest value that it means it's a new bar. But I'll just show you. So I'll call it new bar, and then I'll do equals has new bar, and then I can do also update time. I just to give you intuition, and I'll do datetime dot now. Okay, so this will display this data frame, and to attach the callback, so you have your bars. So you have to do bars It's really cool. Like Walt DeWitt, rest in peace, made a really cool programming style. So you do bars that update event um, plus equals on bar update. So basically, every time there's a new a change in the bars, like a bar gets updated, this function will call. So this is to add it, but just to remove it. By the way, you do bars dot update event dot clear, that removes it. Or you could do minus equals, but anyways, just let's just do that to be careful. Let's also just throw in ib.sleep 60, so it means it'll update for 60 seconds, and then we'll do update.clear. We'll clear it. We'll remove everything after 60 seconds. So this is just to give you guys intuition. Okay, so like you see, this does not have a new bar. When it has a new bar, like I said, is the new bar will always have volume -1, right? So that's just intuition to have, because if for some reason you need to use a full bar, you have to use until not the most recent bar as your bar. You use the one before it. That's just the key. Like that's a bug you can easily make. So as you see here, new bar, and you see it's -1, and the last bar was here. The completed bar was here. So this is just because, like, if you had code and you were to just use this bar, you would have a bug if you use that has no bar. So you have to be careful. You have to do like you have to use bars -2 and not bars -1. Okay, just it's nothing to do with this video, because we're gonna actually not care if we have incomplete bars for this example, but it's good to know this. Anyways, the 1 minute was over. I also want to say that, like, when you have has new bars true, it doesn't just need to be -1. It can also be 0. I don't exactly know what's the difference. Why sometimes it's -1, sometimes it's 0. But anyways, another small thing to notice is that if you notice that these are basically right after another. So basically, like, you have a bar update, and then you have another bar update with has new bar. So there's a little latency if you're using has new bar to determine the last bar, but like basically what happens is, like, every 5 seconds or so, see there's about like 5 seconds. This is 31 to 36, 5 seconds. There's a new bar, but but like when you have like where am I losing my train of thought? Okay, but when you have has new bar equals true, then there is no there's like a small second differential. Anyways, for now on, we're just gonna do the we're gonna ignore this, because we don't care if the bars are partial or not. But let me just show you a tiny quick example of like the same thing, but now like only having full bar. So if you only have full bar, what you should do is you should do something like so like if you do so you do if has new bar, and then I'll do display util bars, and I'll display the last two. But you know what? Let me actually do something like this. I'll do display the last two. But you'll see that I don't need to use the last value. I need to use the value before it. Maybe I've over repeated this point, because I know you can make a bug on it, but like so anyways, just to show you guys, like, hmm? Oh, it's supposed to like update every 30 seconds. So what happened? Um, every time there's a new bar. Okay, there's one bar. So so notice you don't use the last bar. Use the second to last. That's the point I'm always trying to make. But now, like, see that I use if has new bar only every 30 seconds. So if you want like complete bars, you need to use if has new bar. Okay. So we'll move on after we'll get this thing done. Okay, so now let's talk about the main thing we were interested in, which is Bollinger Bands. Okay, so what are Bollinger Bands? So Bollinger Bands is kind of like and now you see the last 30 seconds came in. Sorry guys, I'm all over the place and it's like really hot. So So what are Bollinger Bands? So Bollinger Bands are like a mean reverting strategy where you basically like look at the moving average, and you also look at the two standard deviations above and two standard deviations below. And it's kind of like if it hits two standard deviations above, then you can short, and then you can close when it hits the moving average. And also, if it goes down to two standard deviations below the moving average, then you buy, and then you close your position, you sell when it hits the moving average. So let me show you guys an illustration. We'll use 5-minute bars because 30-second bars is probably too short. So what did I mess up on here? Oh, sorry. So look at this fancy chart. Okay. So let's just, so like because I'm using 3 days of data, there's a gap between the days. This is not a Plotly video. We could make a Plotly video where you can remove the gap. But anyways, so just to illustrate the strategy, so like, okay, so you have your actual price. Okay, so let's just start from scratch. You have your price, right? You calculate a moving average, right? You calculate a standard deviation, and you add that to the moving average. So that's your upper band. And similarly, you subtract from the moving average, you get the lower band. So let's just remove the moving average for a second. So the strategy is, you know what, let's keep the moving average. Okay, so the strategy is if you hit here, you short, right? And then you cover when you hit the moving average and you hit the blue. So here actually it would be a nice trade. You go from here to here. And similarly here, you hit here, and unless you use the stop loss and screwed yourself, you'd lose at first, but like eventually it goes to here, and I think you're slightly winning, so it's okay. So there is some soundness, at least in this dummy example. So like okay, so like and a great example is here. So you short here, and then you can cover when you hit the moving average. You can obviously make more if you would have held, but like that's the gist of the story. Is like you sell it here, you buy here, and you always cover. You close in the middle. So that's the gist of the strategy. You should probably use it with other strategies, but like yeah, okay. So now let's do the Bollinger Band trading bot. So as I said earlier, please don't look. I've made mistakes trading with interactive brokers, algo trading. I once accidentally bought like I had a portfolio margin and I bought like I don't know like way too much QQQ because they let me do 10% margin. So be careful. Double check. Don't run my code unless you double check demo and a million times. Okay. And also I recommend using limit orders, and you probably should use some sort of stop order, even though I don't, and not just market orders. And also just I always say I'm not a fan of shorting. Anyways, but like let's show the strategy in action. Let's just do the strategy. Okay. So like let's define a period. Like period is like the number of days for the moving average or the number of periods for the moving average. Let's go with 20. 20 seems like the default. And let's do quantity. This is the number of stocks we're gonna buy and sell. Let's do 100. Okay. So let's also we're gonna have to keep track of the position because we have to know if we already bought the stock or if we already sold short the stock. We have to know. So the position initializes to 0, and I'll talk about that in a second. Okay, so first let me just like kind of show you how to calculate these things, and then we will show you how to trade these things. Okay, so first step is we define another callback function. So on bar update, bars and has new bar. I want to say that like eventually like you probably are gonna need to use some of these async def things, because if you have asynchronous functions in this, you need this async def, but we don't need it here, so I'm gonna keep it simple. So okay, so because we're gonna need position, we're gonna define it as global position here. Okay, so remember we get the data frame by doing util.bars, and here we're not gonna care about like partial has new bar or no. We're just going to use the latest closing point, even if the bar is partial, as the last point in the moving averages. So util.df bars, That's a data frame. Okay, so now let's calculate the simple moving average. Simple moving average would be df. It's called close dot rolling, and I'll do window equals. Oops. So I'm sweating so much that my keyboard doesn't type. Window equals period, and then let's do dot mean. That gives you the moving average. That's the pandas rolling function. And standard deviation we're going to need for calculating the bands. So we're going to do similar thing. Dot close dot rolling thing. Window equals period dot mean. Great. Okay. So now we have the standard deviation. And now we can do the upper band and the lower band. So what's the upper band? That's the moving average plus usually it's like twice the standard deviation, or there's some parameter. I'll keep it as like a fixed number for now. Like you probably shouldn't hard code it, but like anyways, I'll do plus 2 times df std, and then I'll do this as df SMA minus 2 times df std, and then I'll do so here I'm just gonna show you how this looks for a second. So let's show you how this looks, and then we'll get to the trade. So let's just quickly do bars that update event plus equals on bar update, and then let's just do it for 30 seconds. I'll do like ib dot sleep 30 seconds, because this will update every 5 seconds, even though we have 5-minute bars. I'll just show you how it looks for a second. So I'll do bars dot update event. You can also do minus equals to remove the callback. So sometimes clear I feel is more reliable. So see, the first 20 don't have values, 19 don't have values because there's not enough data, and then you see it keeps updating. Let's just make sure the upper band. Oh, look, I have a bug. Well, my lower band is minus 175, so I did something wrong. My STD is 175. My STD is wrong. What did I do wrong? Oh, I did mean. Okay, see, this is why you double check. So, okay. Okay, so now let's rerun it and see if it makes sense. Okay. So you see the upper band is higher than the lower band, and the moving average is between them. It's like halfway between them. So it makes sense here. Upper, lower, and moving average is between. Okay. And great, it updated a few times. We get the idea. Okay, so now let's actually do the trading thing. So let's just keep copying this, and let's just do the actual trading stuff. So we're going to now we're gonna need a few things. Okay, so I don't use market orders, but in this simple example, I'm gonna show you with market orders. So what do we need? When do we buy? So buy signal. When do we buy? What has to happen? We need to be below, greater than, or less than or equal to the lower band. So it has to be like buy signal equals okay, buy signal. Sorry, I have a signal. I had a dirt on my laptop. Buy signal equals, you have to have df close less than or equal to df lower band, and you need the last element, so iloc -1, that, and you need to have no position, right? So like I'll write buy signal is like buy when close less than or equal to lower band plus no position. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, so now sell signal. Actually, I should call it short signal. Signal is short when close greater than or equal to upper band plus no position. So that's very similar. I'll do short signal equals df close greater than or equal to DF upper band dot iloc minus 1 times position equals 0. So that's a short signal. Okay, so now cover short. Cover short when. So when do we cover short? Let's actually, sorry, let's do the close long position first. So let's do because let's keep the order. Close long. So when do we close long? That means we already have a position. We have position greater than 0, and now we have close greater than or equal to SMA. We made it to the SMA from the lower bound. So we close long if DF close greater than or equal to SMA, DF SMA. We need the last element. This is not the most efficient thing. I'm just showing you like how the logic. And we need position greater than 0. Okay, so that's when you close long. Now close short. We have position greater than 0, less than 0, and we need the close to have dropped to less than or equal to SMA. So we need close short equals DF close less than or equal to DF SMA dot iloc minus 1. iloc minus 1, just to remind you guys, gives you the latest value in the data frame. Position less than 0. Okay. So now, if I didn't make a mistake, and it's highly likely I made a mistake, we can be ready for the logic. So the logic is, let's get rid of this though. So the logic is going to be, and let me also just write bars that update event dot clear, just in case, because if you run this twice, you'll have this running twice and you'll buy twice. So you have to, that's why I always have dot clear. It's very important not to mess up on that. That'll make you double buy. Okay, so if buy signal, so now let's do the ordering loop. So if buy signal, I'll just write print buy, and then I'll do trade equals IB dot place order, contract equals contract, and then order equals, let's do market order. Again, I'm not a fan of market orders, but this is just a simple tutorial. So let me spell it out. Action equals buy. Total quantity equals QTY. We defined that. Okay. So this is the buy, right? Okay. So now position, we're going to assume, look, it's Tesla. It's a liquid stock. Of course, you're going to get a fill for all your market orders. This is not always the case with like crazy, like tiny stocks. But you shouldn't be trading those anyways. So let's just add plus equals quantity to the position. So it goes from 0 to, actually it's always 0 or quantity or minus quantity in this case. So let's just do that here. So we'll make it a position equals quantity. And now elif short signal, we'll do print short. And then we'll do trade equals IB dot place order. You know what? Let's just copy this. The only difference is now we're going to do action as sell. So we're going to do action as sell. Okay, great. So we're going to do position equals minus quantity. Okay, so elif. So now we have equals minus quantity. So we're short minus quantity, which is 100. Okay, so now let's talk about closing. So if we can close long, then what we're gonna do is print. I'll write close long. So I'll do a trade equals IB dot place order. And similar here, we're going to sell. Um, but I'll write position instead of quantity, even though it's the same thing. So I'll write position. So we're going to sell the position. Just in case like we didn't have a full fill, whatever, this will kind of liquidate you from the position. Okay. So, but, okay. So now uh, my kids came. So now we can also close the short. And let's print close short. And let's do a similar thing, trade, except now we're going to buy. We're going to buy. So we buy, and now position is negative, remember? So we're going to actually make this just, let's just do abs position. You could also do negative position. You could also do quantity because I only play with quantity or minus quantity. But anyways, this will close this order. Okay, so now let's just add a few extra things, I guess. We'll do elif abs position greater than 0. Let's do print has position hold. And then we'll do else print no position. Maybe do nothing. Okay, so let's run this bad boy. And let me just see if I have any open orders. open orders. I might have done stuff earlier. This is a demo account, I hope. Okay, so this is running. So let's see if this works. Okay, so no position, do nothing. I'm not monitoring it or anything, but like, hopefully it'll make a trade. I don't know. We'll see. It's a 5-minute bar, so I don't know. I mean, I could have also printed this thing. So maybe I'll do that, actually. So be very careful. Always make sure when you do clear and make sure nothing's running and you have no positions. You don't want to double dip. So let's actually display this bad boy. So I'll do display DF here. So we'll kind of get an idea if we're going to fill anything. So like... you see here, this is the SMA. Sorry, this is the our close is 175.58. Maybe we can hit one of these. I hope we hit this thing because I'm always a perma bull. But like, okay, no, let's keep it going a little bit. But you know what? It's not. We're not close to hitting it yet. So let's clear again. Let's just make sure we didn't make a trade. Okay, and let's just instead let's just display the last like. That tail one. Let's just display the last row. And you know what? Yeah, let's just display the last row. Okay. So you know what? Let's clear it one more time before we get close. Oh, it's about to hit the lower thing. No, sorry, it's still in the middle. Okay, sorry. The war I do to try to get you guys fill. Let's make this 1, just to get a fill. Okay. So it hits like 1 standard deviation above the moving average or 1 below. And let's print instead of this, we're gonna print the closing price. We're gonna print the lower band. We're gonna print the upper band, and let's also print the SMA. Okay, so does that work? Yeah. Okay. So now let's see how this works, and let's run this. So you see, we only need to go up like 15 cents to hit the upper band, and that will short in this case. Because our close is here. So it's still not doing anything. Ooh, it might hit the upper band soon. Maybe I should make it a half instead of 1. Ah, we're close. Look, we're close to the upper band. Please, Tesla can explode. Come on. Ooh, we're 3 away. So this should short it if we hit the upper band. We're 5 away, 5 cents away from the upper band. We're 7 cents. That's the thing with Tesla is like it gets all this fake news on it and stuff. Anyways, let's keep that going until something hits. It's supposed to be a short video. How did it end up being? Anyways, okay, we're 3 away from hitting the upper band. You guys can close the video if you guys want. But like eventually it'll hit the upper band. But might take longer than we expected. Gosh, Tesla can't break, can't get up to 175.77. Seriously. Let's try 10 more. Let's try a few more times, and if it doesn't get here, we will just lower it to half. It's only 10 cents away. Come on, Tesla. Use your leaping ability. 5 cents away. I don't use any of these algorithms. I will say though, I'm much more of a fan of Bollinger Bands than I am of momentum because I like buying low, selling high. Okay, we're 4 cents away. We're 1 cent away. We're gonna hit it. Ah, short. Look, now we're short. So now I see. We don't have open order. Sorry, but we have ib.fills. Oh, and this is the whole asynchronous programming. Is like, nothing is blocking, so I can run whatever I want while it's running. So like, okay, we filled, and what does our fill look like? By the way, that df or fill is like a cell. I'll do dot execution. Oops. To list Zork. What did I do wrong? Oh, sorry. Dot to list, and then I'll do like this. See, it keeps running while I do this stuff. But let me just show you what happened. Is I executed, and what did I do? I sold 100 shares at 175.78. So now remember, I close my short when this goes down below the SMA. So like for the sake of the video, I hope it gets there. But for the sake of like my own trading, I probably hope it doesn't get there. But anyways, like we won't wait for it. But like if it gets below the SMA, then you close your short, you buy back the shares, and then that'll be great. And just another thing, just to show you guys, is like if I do print positions, I'll get position is minus 100 because we're short. Anyways, we won't wait until Tesla inevitably goes down here, but you guys get the point. Anyways, I hope this helps some of you guys, and thank you guys. Hopefully we'll do like the real trading video soon.